Responsible for training our Army's volunteer fighting force. Fort Jackson is home to the only drill sergeant academy in our Army and is responsible for providing drill sergeants to every training center across the initial military training enterprise. Since its inception, the purpose of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Program is to transform non-commissioned officers into drill sergeants, who in turn have the responsibility to transform civilians into soldiers, our national treasure. The thousands of American young men and women who have volunteered to answer the call of a grateful nation. The job of the drill sergeant is one of a professional trainer, coach, mentor, and leader. This is not an easy or simple job, and it comes with sacrifices that each drill sergeant must make in order to perform this extremely important mission. Those who are graduating today will spend the next 2 to 3 years on the trail training the next generation of our Army. The phrase "on the trail" comes from the frontier days when the cattle were driven from California to Colorado to be marketed. The original drill sergeants coined this phrase because of the similar process of moving soldiers from one place to another with few problems or loss along the way. There is a continued effort to move drill sergeants to that high degree of excellence and expertise for which they are known. The drill sergeant course is both stressful and challenging. The 9 weeks of training are broken down into 12-hour days, adding up to 446 hours of instruction. This training is a privilege reserved for the best of the best. Only the top 10% of all sergeants Army-wide are eligible to attend the drill sergeant course. Not all sergeants complete this difficult period of training. On October 16, 2025, 139 candidates arrived. During the course, 51 sergeants were removed for various reasons, with 13 being inserted, resulting in 101 that are graduating here today. Those graduating represent disciplined, motivated, physically fit drill sergeants who exemplify the drill sergeant creed. All 101 drill sergeants are truly our proud example of our Army and will undoubtedly transform the generation of civilian volunteers into soldiers that are fully capable of defeating any enemy of today's modern battlefield. Ladies and gentlemen, identified by their distinctive headgear and pistol belt are the drill sergeant leaders responsible for having trained and mentored today's graduating class. Drill sergeant leaders instruct course in small groups of 20 candidates on average. They are highly motivated, professional, and seasoned drill sergeants who have a minimum of 1 year experience in the initial entry training environment from any of the 4 training centers and advanced individual training locations. They were hand-selected to serve as drill sergeant leaders as a result of demonstrating expert leadership, mastery of warrior task and battle drills, and consistently performing at the top 1% of their peers. In addition, all have completed the TRADOC Drill Sergeant Leader Certification Program. Please join me in a round of applause for their hard work and dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commandant of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy, Command Sergeant Major Joshua R. Lytle.
That move for me, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you cut it. This is Drill Sergeant Academy. We do everything with intensity and motivation. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's a little better. Appreciate you. Distinguished guests, Command Sergeant Major Suspettus, families, friends, thank you for joining us today for the Drill Sergeant Academy graduation ceremony for class 00226. From the attendance today, it is clear these drill sergeants have amazing families and friends. What a great day to be a soldier. And an even better day to be here, surrounded by the future of the United States Army. Represented by the United States Army's newest drill sergeants. The fact that the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy is the gold for NCO development and cadre certification is clearly on display today. My name is Command Sergeant Major Josh Byro. I am the Commandant, proudly serving alongside the most highly motivated and well-trained drill sergeants in the United States Army. A drill sergeant is the standard bearer for the United States Army and the epitome of what we expect of a soldier. Drill sergeants are expected to live the Army values, exemplify the warrior ethos, and be guardians of the Army profession. Drill sergeants are responsible for coaching, teaching, motivating, inspiring, and mentoring the future of the Army as they transform civilians to combat-ready American soldiers. A typical day as a drill sergeant starts well before dawn and ends after sundown. Drill sergeants are the first impression for every trainee and all that they know of the Army. Drill sergeants, they will emulate you. They will want to be you. Being a drill sergeant is one of the most difficult jobs in our Army. It is also one of the most rewarding. How critical a drill sergeant is to our Army cannot be overstated. Nor can the sacred trust that is being bestowed on you today. American families across this great land will entrust you with their most important things in their lives, their children. The future of America is being placed in your care for the most formative time in their Army careers. Your impact will last a lifetime. Just as you remember your drill sergeants, so will the soldiers you trained. And over 29 years ago, Sergeant First Class Roderick McCottrell and Ronnie Bush were mine, just in case you were wondering. Drill sergeants, they will remember you. Will they remember you for how you invested in them, believed in them when they didn't believe in themselves, always enforced the standard, and challenged them to keep going? Or will they remember you for something else? Class 00226, congratulations on accomplishing this daunting challenge. You met or exceeded every standard. You surmounted every obstacle. But the challenge is just beginning. Enjoy the time between now and when you report to your units. Take the time to reflect on the challenge that lies ahead and what you hope to achieve. There will be times when you are tired, hot, cold, hungry, and more. Look to your battle buddies during those times and spur one another on. Your experience as a drill sergeant will be directly impacted by the battle buddies you have and are. The task is great. You are charged with nothing less than training tomorrow's leaders. The Army, the country, and the Constitution are depending on you. Today's guest speaker is Command Sergeant Major Janino Cespedes. Command Sergeant Major Cespedes graduated BCT and AIT right here in 2001 as a reserve soldier, and then transferred after that enlistment to active component and became an 11 Bravo infantryman in 2004. Command Sergeant Major Cespedes is presently the Command Sergeant Major of the 360th Infantry Battalion. The long list of assignments in numerous organizations demonstrate his exceptional performance, character, and stewardship of the profession. Please join me in welcoming Command Sergeant Major Cespedes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're here again. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
All right, much better. All right, Command Sergeant Major Brittle, distinguished guests, to the outstanding drill sergeant leaders, and a special thank you to the family members, friends, join us both here in person and on social media. But more importantly, to the graduating class of the Drill Sergeant Academy, Class 002-26. Welcome and thank you for attending today's graduation. It is my honor and privilege to serve as your guest speaker on today's graduation, and because I just realized that I am the only thing standing between you and donning your campaign or bush hat and walking across the stage, I will try to be short. Is that fair? Fair enough. Okay, let's go. This will defend. Oh man. Personally, I love this moment. But what I love the most is the response of to the end when we say to each other. That to me reaffirms the commitment we all have as drill sergeants and leaders to train nothing but the best American soldiers we have offered our nation to fight and win America's wars. For the families and friends, this will defend is the Army's guiding motto and has embodied the ideals of the American soldier for over 200 years. It represents the soldier's readiness and willingness to preserve and defend the American way of life. This motto is also inscribed on the drill sergeant's identification badge, now displayed proudly on the uniform of those drill sergeants graduating today. In addition to their already demonstrated willingness to preserve and defend our way of life, this badge and this motto also represent their identity as the Army's premier leaders, trusted professionals, and premier trainers. As some of you might have already figured out or heard over the past several days, the easiest part of being a drill sergeant is now behind you. For the drill sergeant, the tasks are many. There will be long hours, days, weeks, and to include weekends. They'll often never seem to be enough hours in the day to accomplish all tasks your leadership has asked you to do. You will spend many hours away from your family and friends we all love and value the most. But always remember to take care of yourself, because at the end, your family will always be there. And take care of your family, because at the end, they will always be there. However, despite the long hours, hard work, and sacrifice, I can promise you that for those of you that are successful during time on the trail, and aside perhaps from the brotherhoods and sisterhood formed in combat, this job will be the most rewarding and influential job of your career. You will personally influence hundreds and potentially thousands of the Army's future soldiers and leaders. You will transform thousands of uncertain and yet determined civilians into the world's of greater warriors. And everyone in this room can attest to that you will forever remember by those soldiers that you trained. They are certainly not going to remember me as a battalion command sergeant major. They're certainly not going to remember the battalion commander. They are probably not even going to remember the company commander nor the company first sergeant. But I promise you, they will remember you, their drill sergeant. With that being said, I would like to share with you a bit of my experience as a drill sergeant, first sergeant, and now command sergeant major here at Fort Jackson. To help me ensure you leave a lasting legacy that you will most certainly be proud of. First, know the standard, be the standard, and uphold the standard. I'll tell you, your training's faults, mistakes, and infractions will be plentiful. And at the end of the long day on the range, under the hot sun, it will often seem easier or quicker to pretend you did not see it, and maybe you will ignore the infraction altogether. But remember, most like your actions, your inactions will also be noticed. In doing so, you, the drill sergeant, just have created a new standard. Have the discipline, and while using general military authority, make corrections regardless of the soldier's rank or position. In summary, standards and discipline are those two words that if you can get right, that trust will take you long ways. Now, second, always be and set the example. Remember that any given time, there are hundreds of impressionable young minds looking at you as the example of what they should emulate. And that is every manner of your personal character, the manner in which you carry yourself, your attitude, even the way you speak will be noticed. In the end, your trainees will reflect the very best or perhaps even the worst of you. I promise that your action will be seen and noticed by every trainee. If you don't believe me, for those who allow trainees to do drill sergeant skits at the end of each cycle, it will absolutely be remarkable to how accurate they nouns, mannerisms, and captured by trainees. Lastly, be humble. Honest humility will help us to see the flaws and gaps in our skills, knowledge, and behavior. It will help keep us grounded in self-awareness that lead us to seek out input and feedback from others. Nearly every soldier in this room began your transformation from civilian to a soldier at a training center very similar to the training center you are bound for. There might be a small group of you who rose through basic training and graduated with honors. But for the rest of us, I ask you to reflect back, never forget your own humble beginning. And remember, rehearsals are important. Do not let your newfound fame of being a big drill sergeant to cloud your judgment of exactly how awesome you are. Great organizations and great drill sergeants make time to conduct rehearsals and in absolutely everything. Remember that your actions during execution should set the standards for soldiers to follow. Take care of your trainees. Believe me, believe it or not, the trainees want to be pushed. They want you to challenge them both physically and mentally. They are looking to you as the leader or role model to help them discover what they have inside and what they are really made of. Train hard, train to standard, train on fundamentals first, and continue to do what you do best, make American soldiers. Remember, the Drill Sergeant Academy just laid that foundation in which you will stand on, and with your experience, dedication, and commitment, you will forge that drill sergeant you always wanted to become and want those trainees to emulate. With that, know, be, and enforce standards and discipline, set, be, live by example, and stay humble. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. This will defend. And victory starts here.
The Drill Sergeant Academy would like to recognize the supporter of the cycle for his exceptional professionalism and dedication to excellence in support of the unit's total mission. Presenting the Supporter Award is Drill Sergeant Leader Boz Hodge. The supporter of the cycle is Mr. Jordan Gaines. His behind-the-scenes attention to detail kept training on track with limited distractions. Please join me in a round of applause for the supporter awardee. Drilling ceremony is the basis for standards and discipline in the initial entry training environment. During the course, the drill sergeant candidates are instructed and assessed on their ability to perform and teach drill and ceremony positions and movements, culminating with the drill and ceremony competition. The squad that displayed the highest level of proficiency is awarded the drill and ceremony trophy to be displayed until the following cycle. For Class 002-26, the drill and ceremony competition winner is 1st Platoon, 2nd Squad, who is led by Drill Sergeant Justin Dillon. Please join me in a round of applause for the winning squad of the drill and ceremony competition. At the Drill Sergeant Academy, it is tradition to appropriately recognize those who distinguish themselves by outstanding performance. In keeping with this tradition, the following awards are presented. The drill sergeant leader of the cycle is the drill sergeant leader who displayed the highest contribution to the entire platoon, created an impeccable learning environment, and displayed a standard for all graduating drill sergeants to follow. For Class 002-26, the drill sergeant leader of the cycle is Drill Sergeant Leader Boz Hodge. At this time, First Command will present the drill sergeant leader of the cycle with a gift for their outstanding leadership.
First Command, well done. Congratulations on your accomplishment as drill sergeant leader of the cycle.
At this time, the Commandant of the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy, Command Sergeant Major Joshua R. Lytle, will represent the drill sergeant leader of the cycle with the Commandant's coin for their outstanding leadership. Please join me in a round of applause for the drill sergeant leader of the cycle. Senior Drill Sergeant Leader Joshua Myers will now present the awardees their distinctive headgear. Please hold your applause and cheering until the awardees have been acknowledged. The following drill sergeant exceeded course standards, demonstrated exceptional physical fitness, and maintained the highest grade point average of his graduating class. For these achievements, he is the Distinguished Honored Graduate, Leadership Awardee, member of the Commandant's List, and the Male Iron Drill Sergeant Awardee with a score of 488. Drill Sergeant Bobby Brewer, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. The Iron Drill Sergeant Award is given to the candidates who displayed the highest degree of physical fitness during the Army Fitness Test. The female Iron Drill Sergeant Award recipient is Drill Sergeant Irene White, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, with a score of 500. Please join me in a round of applause for the awardees. The following drill sergeants exceeded course standards, demonstrated exceptional physical fitness, and maintained a grade point average in the top 20% of their graduating class. For these achievements, they are rightfully placed on the Commandant's List. Drill Sergeant Blaine Blakesley, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill Sergeant Michelle Hill, 108th Training Command. Drill Sergeant Dane Pope, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Please join me in a round of applause for the Commandant's List. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the graduating class will rise and don their distinctive headgear. Please join me in a round of applause for the drill sergeants of Class 002-26. At this time, Leadership Awardee Drill Sergeant Bobby Brewer will present a token of appreciation to the guest speaker, Command Sergeant Major Cespedes.
Sergeant Major, on behalf of Class 002-26, we accept this token of appreciation for your kind words and wisdom.
You have become what you set out to be, a drill sergeant in the United States Army. The Drill Sergeant Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and continue to guarantee. At this time, drill sergeants, past and present, please stand as the drill sergeant leader of the cycle, Drill Sergeant Leader Boz Hodge, leads the graduating class in reciting the Drill Sergeant Creed. The Drill Sergeant Creed is not a creed for every non-commissioned officer in the Army. The honor and privilege is given to these non-commissioned officers to transform America's sons and daughters from civilians to soldiers to fight and win the wars of this great nation.
As well defend. I am a drill sergeant. I will assist each individual in their efforts to become a highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically and mentally fit soldier, capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield. I will instill pride in all I train, pride in self, in the Army, and in country. I will insist that each soldier meets and maintains the Army standards of military bearing and courtesy, consistent with the highest traditions of the U.S. Army. I will lead by example, never requiring a soldier to attempt any task I would not do myself, but first, last, and always, I am an American soldier, sworn to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I am a drill sergeant.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song and remain standing for the departure of the official party.
March along, sing our song, with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might. And the army goes rolling along.